Oops. Hello, caller. I don't know what's happening. Hello, caller.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
Ah. All right. So can you hear me now? Is it any better? Please let me know. Chipmunk stop. Boom, boom. Okay. Good, 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 good. Thank you so much, everyone, for sticking around. Sorry about that. I usually do a mic check in the beginning, and I forgot that the computer restarted, and I was a little bit short on time. When the computer restarts, there can be issues with the microphone. So I'm glad that we got that up and running. Actually, it looks a little loud. We must be using a different microphone here. It looks kind of loud. Whoa! That's way louder than usual. I wonder which microphone that is. Ha! I guess we'll find out. Now, whoever it was that called a minute ago, please feel free to call back. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but I know the lines are open. The telephone number is right there. 805-669-6397. 805 Mox News. 805-669-6397. Now, we had a lovely bong hit. I had a lovely bong hit. And I really wanted to talk to Jackie Cat about microdosing. Microdosing. Doesn't that sound like fun? Sounds like micro-dot dosing, huh? What now? Hello, caller. Hello?
Hey, what's up, Mom? This is Manny.
Manny?
This is Manny. I just wanted to call and tell you how much I love you because I just have a lot of stuff to say right now. And I know that you are just there, and I know with the God of McCays and all this stuff in the world, and we have a lot of stuff in the world right now. We have a lot of stuff in the world, and we have a lot of stuff, and you know this, Max. You know this. Max, you know we have a lot of stuff in the world, Max, and I just try to talk to the people, and I try to tell them all. I try to tell all the people all the really important information that I know about. But I'm just saying right now, the really important information I'm about to tell you. Just listen to the really important information I'm about to tell you. Listen, hold on. I'm telling you that the key to the car, to the millions of dollars, to the ordered stuff in the world. And right now, I'm telling you,
All right, Manny. Well, when you get it together, call back, okay? Because Manny doesn't sound like that at all, so you know. And Manny has a pretty clear idea where he's going in the conversation, so you know.
This is Manny.
I know.
This is Manny.
I know. You should have
Manny right now because this is Manny.
You should have a bong hit and call me back, Manny.
Hey, I'm saying what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I question that.
You know what I'm saying, Max. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, Max. Hey, Max, this is Manny. I just wanted to tell you.
He doesn't repeat that over and over again when he calls.
Yes, he does. When he's drunk, he does.
When who's drunk?
Manny.
Oh.
So when Manny calls, he's like, this is Manny, and I am Manny, and I am Manny, and I've been through many of troubles and tribulations in the world, and we know a lot
said
of
anything
stuff,
about being drunk.
The phone starts coming away from and I can't hear anyone was talking, and then it's about all of this, and then Manny, and then this also.
Oh, did you leave? Did we leave Manny? Did we lose him? All right, Manny. It's always good to hear from you, man. Call back anytime. He hung up. I didn't hang up. So I'm surprised Manny wasn't the first to call. It always surprises me when Manny's not the first to call. So, where were we? I can't remember. We were talking about Matthew McConaughey. Oh, and what a sincere... When I see these actors up talking about whatever issue it is. Only one. I don't. You guys know who John Levitz is, right? He used to do this character. John Levitz basically does one character, John Levitz, right? And he has this phrase, and he says it, and this is all I think when I see actors spewing out about their causes is acting. That's what John Levitz, he says it with a different accent, but I'm like, acting? That's what I hear in my head when I see actors. Acting? Because that's what actors do. Right? Kept hitting that podium. This is how upset I am. I'm hitting a podium right now. Can you hear me hitting the podium? Now I'm stomping my foot. Can you hear me stomping my foot? That's what a good actor would do. They get into character and they have this like emotional kind of connection to the character, and stomp our hands, we stomp our feet, because that really gets the point across that I'm upset. Otherwise you might not know just how upset I am. It bothers me, you know. I mean, look, it's just, how can this be the center of the discussion? Gun control. It's obvious that mental health is the issue. Okay, and the questions right up there. Will new gun control laws? Why didn't it say gun control, motherfucker? Will new gun control laws end school shootings? I mean, that's the question, because if the problem is mental illness, and there's already hundreds of millions of guns in this country, then something tells me by introducing new gun laws, you're not going to stop someone with mental illness who wants to get a gun. There's hundreds of millions of guns in this country. That doesn't count the military or the police, okay? Hundreds of millions of guns, which is a good thing. I'm really glad. Naomi Wolf. I posted a video of her last week. Naomi Wolf. I don't know if we played it on the live show, saying that the only reason that we still have freedom in this country is because of the Second Amendment. Naomi Wolf, who is considered to be a wildly liberal person, I believe. Actually, there's no doubt in my mind that she identifies as an independent because both sides are fucking retarded, right? So, and you want to be a free thinker. Again, you don't want to paint yourself into this corner where I stand with these people. Well, what if those people are being really fucking stupid right now? We're going to go, oh, I stand with these people. No, you go, I'm a free thinker. You say the things that need to be said, and I will stand with you. Am I talking too fast? Can you guys hear what I'm saying? Is this thing on? Speaking of English! Excuse me. I forgot the microphone is so loud. So loud. There's my beautiful baby. Now, what was I saying? I just want... I don't really want anything. I would very much like to see a brighter future for the people that are, gonna take over this planet, I'd very much like to see people who brought us to this brink of destruction, brought us to this brink of World War III, brought us to this brink of the collapse of the economy. Because it's not just Joe Biden. This shit's been coming a long time, okay? And although Joe Biden is just the perfect fucking scapegoat for the fucking elites to put into office so everybody can go, look at this doddering old fool, he has no idea what he's doing, and the elites are just going, money, 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 money. Do you have any idea what it is that I am saying? This is the world we live in. These people must be held accountable. They must go to prison for the rest of their lives. they make the world 1,000 times more dangerous. Okay, out there, there's a lot of shit that's dangerous. These people, these politicians who are supposed to be looking out for your children, make the world 1,000 times more dangerous for your children. Hello, caller.
Hello. My name is Two Bull Crap. Okay? Listen, that's how it's spelled. Don't get it wrong.
Bull crap.
My name. What?
Bull crap.
It's called Two Bull Crap. That's what they call me. You better get it right, sir,
Bull crap.
when you're talking to me. It's called Two Bull Crap. You don't just say bull crap. You say two, number two. Because you ain't going number one. You're going number two.
I'm number
Unless
4. I'm number 4.
Unless you put it in number one, and then the number two, like Two Bullcrap did, and then he's peeing out.
You know why I'm number
goddamn
4?
two.
You know why I'm number 4? Huh?
No, nobody knows why you're number fucking 4.
Some people know. Some people know.
Well, it's probably because you sucked, and you couldn't fucking get
No,
anywhere
that's not the
in
reason.
the Olympics
The reason
or
that
some shit.
the reason that I'm number 4 is because
Nobody wants to know what that.
the
Nobody cares
reason
what this is.
that I'm number
You
4.
No. Listen, Michael, my name is Two Bull Crap. Okay, we do not need to hear this. This is a fucking family-friendly show, and we don't need to hear this shit. It's probably gonna
Bull
be some
crap.
weird fucking shit.
Bull
We don't
crap.
need to hear this stuff. Obviously, there's probably going to be a dildo involved. We don't need to hear that stuff. It's probably
Why are you so obsessed with dildos?
What?
Dildos
I'm
and
not.
butt plugs. All you talk about is dildos
I'm
and
not.
butt plugs, dude. What is your obsession with dildos and butt
I'm
plugs?
not doing that.
You brought
I've
it
never
up.
done that.
You brought it up.
Well, all I do is mow my lawn, and I keep a really good lawn cleaned, and occasionally the fucking kids throw dildos into my fucking yard, and it gets caught in my fucking lawnmower, and it pisses me off. Okay, so that's why I'm angry, because all some fucking 89 fucking years old, just like Willie fucking Nelson, and you know, why wouldn't I be mad? Seriously, my fucking name is Two Bullcrap. Get off my lawn, bitch.
Because you're not eating enough cannabis, that's why.
There's not enough cannabis on the planet of the earth to fucking
You should try a little harder.
up my ass to fucking fill the needs of all of this fucking bullshit that is continuously spewing out there in America currently at the moment. Sir, I'm just telling you, I'm a patriot out here. I'm a patriot. I smoke the marijuana like an American, not giving a fuck. You step on my lawn, and if I run over another fucking dildo with my lawnmower, I'm gonna fucking lose my fucking shit. I'm gonna fucking shit. I'm trying to keep it together. My head's shaking. I'm so fucking goddamn old. I'm fucking as old as Willie fucking Nelson. 89 years old, son of a bitch, fucking put on a concert for 55,000 people just recently. Got
Willie Nelson's great.
it was great.
Willie Nelson's great, man.
The home wouldn't take me. The nurses wouldn't take me to the goddamn Willie Nelson concert over there.
Yeah, that's too
They
bad.
wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it.
Okay, well, it's good to hear from you, bull crap.
Two bull crap. That's my name. Don't wear it out, you stupid son of a bitch.
Okay,
You hear me?
enjoy your
89 years fucking young.
enjoy your dildos.
Right.
Enjoy your dildos.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. And you come over here and you youngster, you little kid, you need to come over here and fucking clean out my fucking lawnmower.
Okay, old timer.
Come clean the dildos of my lawnmower. You think this is funny? Fuck you. We're gonna get you. Still, you little shit.
Better man have tried.
Yeah, we will. It's the last thing I ever fucking do.
It just may be.
Now, greatest thing.
Dark,
The
dark,
greatest thing.
dark,
The greatest goddamn
Dark.
thing that we ever did
dark,
was
dark, dark.
out of my lifetime was killing the enemy. I tell you what.
Yeah,
Keep
some
your
people like
dildos
killing.
out of my yard, you son of a bitch.
He hung up. I'm gonna have a puff. After that, I need it. Damn. That stuff is so tasty. That's the wedding cake. It's so tasty. I can't believe that I grew it. It's from New Ked Seeds. It's also the biggest autoflower I've ever grown. And I don't think I did it right at all. But I had to get something right. I'll tell you that. All right. So, let me see. Where were we? Oh, speaking of summer gardens, I have two sprouts that are popping up out of the ground. They have two little leaves, and they're just coming up out of the ground, and they look so green. And they're both supposed to be very large plants. So, what the plan is, I have 3 other plants planted right now. Hopefully we'll see them tomorrow. But it's very exciting. I think we're just in time to finish by the end of August, and I can't wait to see what happens. They're all supposed to be very big plants as far as autoflowers go. So I'm really looking forward to that. Now, what shall we use to fill the empty spaces where we used to talk? I am going to go heat up my tea. If anyone would like to have a bong hit with me, I think we should do that really soon, don't you? I'll be back momentarily. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please never forget, it's always better when you're here. I mean that very sincerely. I'll be right back.
Uvalde native Matthew McConaughey is spending today meeting with lawmakers and President Biden. The actor and activist is addressing gun reform legislation after the elementary school shooting in his hometown that killed 19 children and 2 teachers 2 weeks ago. He was passionate as he urged Democrats and Republicans to overcome their differences.
Can both sides see beyond the political problem at hand and admit that we have a life preservation problem on our hands? So we got a chance right now to reach for and to grasp a higher ground above our political affiliations. A chance to make a choice that does more than protect your party.
McConaughey says, as a gun owner himself, responsible gun owners are fed up with the Second Amendment being abused. It has now been 2 weeks since that mass shooting in Uvalde, Texas. Today, the city council met to extend the city's disaster declaration for another 30 days. Noticeably absent from that meeting was Pete Arredondo, the Uvalde School District's police chief, that made the call not to breach the classroom the shooter was in until more than an hour after shooting began. He was recently elected to the city council and sworn in just days after the massacre. The city's mayor says he has not spoken to Arredondo since then. A survivor of the Buffalo supermarket shooting wants the parents of the alleged gunman, Peyton Gendron, to testify under oath. The survivor wants his parents to preserve all evidence, devices, and documents their son allegedly used to plan and then carry out that attack. According to the survivor's attorney, this is the first step to getting justice for victims and their families. Gendron faces 25 charges, including domestic act of terrorism motivated by hate. The U.S. is on pace to have more mass shootings this year than ever before. The Gun Violence Archive says violence is on track to match or surpass last year's total, which is currently the most on record. This year, we have had at least 246 mass shootings reported up through June the 5th. The nonprofit defines a mass shooting as a shooting when at least 4 people are shot, not including the gunman. Progressive prosecutors face a battle of values when it comes to addressing gun violence. Enforcing the strict gun laws they traditionally favor often leads to disproportionate arrests of minorities in their communities. Kayla Gaskins has the story.
He shot so many people in there.
In the wake of mass shootings and spikes in violent crime, progressives among the loudest calling for action.
At the very same time, the very same voices are calling for stricter gun laws. They're not enforcing the gun laws that exist, and that is ironic.
Progressive DAs in the nation's largest cities are choosing not to prosecute illegal firearm possession, arguing it unfairly targets people of color. Philadelphia's police commissioner wants more illegal gun prosecutions. The city's DA, Larry Krasner, disagrees.
The notion that the way you're going to solve shootings is arresting people for guns is missing the point.
In a recent report, Krasner's office notes African Americans make up 44% of the city's population, yet account for 80% of those arrested for illegal firearm offenses. Since Krasner took office in 2018, the number of people arrested for illegal firearms has nearly doubled, yet convictions are way down. Americans' concerns about crime are growing as crime is up sharply in many cities over the past 2 years, something Johnson attributes to politics.
We have prosecutors in cities across America, there's about 75 of them, that identify with this progressive philosophy. Cities from Chicago to Baltimore to Washington, D.C. to New York, all having some of the strictest gun laws in our country. And again, the lack of enforcement of those laws results in less fear, less concern about illegally carrying a firearm.
Some Democrats viewed as soft on crime are in tough political battles, while other tough on crime Democrats have recently been elected in places like New York City.
The courts have to prosecute. Judges have to make sure they stay in.
Leaving progressives to weigh whether it's more important to hold fast to criminal justice reforms or aggressively prosecute current gun laws in the name of public safety. In Washington, Kayla Gaskins, Como News.
That's weird. I don't know why that one didn't have music at the end. They usually have music at the end, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so I forgot to set up my Ukrainian cameras, so we'll have to get back to that some other time. I think tomorrow we're going to do a show. Did I mention that I love these bowls? I love this bowl right here. See that? Pretty, huh? It's all sparkly. Kind of looks like what are those things called? Those rocks called where they split them in half and they have like, I think they're like, you find them where lightning has struck. Hello, Manny.
Well, Max, did you know that in the city of Seattle, police stopped actually taking rape cases?
Stopped what now?
Taking rape cases?
Rape?
They no longer prosecute rape. Yeah, for real. No, check it out for real, man.
Okay. Tell us more.
So, oh yeah, there's more, man. And this is because of police. They quit. They left. They're demoralized. They don't want to do their work, and because all of those, because of the city council is reimagining the police. This is why I live on the east side of Lake Washington, and I don't live in the actual city, because it's crap. The city of Seattle is freaking crap, man. The reason why we have shots last year, the reason why we have Samantha as a city council, though, she's a crazy nutjob. Somebody needs to get rid of her, though, because she's causing more damage to the city than other progressives. And I think she's an open socialist. Like, she wants to have a communism or something.
I think these words like socialist and liberal, I think that at this point they don't mean a whole lot, and that they're just thrown around to either induce fear or try and find support. So because all of them are so goddamn fake, I don't think any of them are actually liberal or socialist. I really don't. I mean, this would be a very different. This would be a very different political system if there was people up there that were actually speaking as if they were, really who they say they are, which none of them are. I mean, Matthew McConaughey is up there. They think of the children. Well, how about the children in Gaza? Who die every single day? Where are you then, Matthew McConaughey? What now?
Matthew McConaughey should stay as an actor, man. And you know why he's doing that? Because there's a rumor that he wants to run for governor of Texas. So
well, good.
He has a better chance to get the nomination than Beto.
I hope he does run for governor, and he won't. He won't, because he can't stand the heat. It's not like he's somehow this squeaky clean guy. And not that politicians are squeaky clean, but there'll be people crawling up his ass, and he's no Donald Trump,
Yeah, but I don't think actors should have any business in politics, though. And I think that's just a stupid gimmick to stay relevant, because they know Hollywood is dying. They know nobody wants to go to the theaters anymore. They know they're no longer the center of the world. Remember back in the 80s and the 90s how the audience were like the biggest shit ever?
The biggest what? The biggest what? The biggest what?
The biggest crap in the world, and now nobody cares about them?
Who was the biggest what?
Remember back in the 80s and in the 90s, the Hollywood actors were the biggest crap ever? Like, they were literally the center of the universe, and now nobody gives a damn about them?
I don't know, Manny. I'm sorry. I'm having trouble understanding what it is you're saying.
Okay. Remember back in the 80s and in the 90s?
80s and 90s, I got that part. What's that? Yes. 80s and 90s,
Remember when the Hollywood actors were the center of the universe?
The Hollywood actors were
the center of the universe?
So in the 80s and the 90s, the Hollywood actors were the center of the universe.
Correct.
And why do you say that? What does that mean?
Because, well, my point is, nobody starts giving a crap about Hollywood actors anymore.
You don't think so?
What I'm seeing, I don't think so. See,
what about like Tom Cruise or, I don't know, who the fuck is popular right now? Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson is a wrestler, man.
Yeah, he's an actor. He's an actor. He's an entertainer. That's what Dwayne Johnson is. Have you ever seen one of the episodes where he was on Saturday Night Live? He's incredibly smart. Yeah.
It's funny.
He's like the best. He's like the best host they've ever had.
It's one of the most entertaining wrestlers that I've seen.
Yeah.
But anyways,
but you're saying people don't have any. there's a lot of people, like Ariana Grande, and all these people. They, Taylor Swift. They snap their fingers, and everybody's talking about it. So I think that what you're saying is not true. I think that there's a lot of people who hang on what the celebrities are going to do next. That's why they have television shows, lots of them that are dedicated just to what stars are doing, celebrities are doing,
That's what I'm saying. Now, back in the 80s and the 90s, people used to care about that. Not anymore. People see through now the bullshit of Hollywood. This is why Hollywood is dying and the streaming services are flourishing now. But even the actors that are working on the streaming services now, they're not making the amount of money that Tom Cruise used to make in the 90s or like, I don't know, Sylvester Stallone used to do in the 80s. They're losing their influence. And what I've seen with Matthew McConaughey, he is trying to stay relevant by doing these stupid gimmicks, which, quite frankly, is an insult to my intelligence.
Well, he's from that town, but again, I don't like it when it's convenient for these guys, like you're saying, to step up and act, which is what they do, which is who they are, as if they're concerned. And it has like this political, it's not just that he's talking about these poor kids, right? It's that he's saying, we have to do something. Well, we have to talk about what has to be done, because what it is you want to do won't make the slightest bit of difference. You want to limit lawful citizens' gun owning abilities. You want to limit the magazine size. You want to limit what guns they can have. There's already plenty of limits when it comes to that. And criminals could give a fuck, and mentally ill people could give a fuck. And there's hundreds of millions of guns out there in the United States already. So taking away people's rights, to protect their family is not going to fix this shit.
It's not, and it's an insult to the intelligence, though, because I can see through what they're trying to do, though. What they're trying to do is they're trying to stay relevant. That's all they're trying to do. It's just stupid.
It's I'm not sure, Manny. I'm not sure, but I think that I don't like it. It's just, it doesn't have to have this political kind of stance to it, right? He doesn't have to be making this statement from the White House. He doesn't have to be, as if he's there for, to show his support to Joe Biden, who this attack happened under, just like people rallying around George Bush, who the fucking 9/11 attacks happened under, The buck has to stop somewhere, and these people want to act like, oh, we have to take away all your guns, or this is just going to keep happening. And it seems like it's really convenient that it's happening right around this election season, because the Democrats have nothing. And I don't give a fuck, Democrats, Republicans, they're the same. I'm just telling you the facts. The Democrats have nothing for the voters to look towards. What?
It's true. They have nothing, man.
Yeah.
Do you saw what happened last Saturday? Do you happen to see what happened on last Saturday in Texas as well?
In Texas?
Yeah.
What?
It was in that one. They were literally okay. Let me be careful. There were literally kids, actual kids, 6, 7, 8-year-old kids, inside a gay bar, watching a drag queen show with their parents. And there's videos and there's photos that the dancing and the behavior of these drag queen people were very explicit. There was a sign during the presentation of the drag queens in front of the children that says, it doesn't gonna leak itself.
Yeah, I saw that. I think this is, again, this thing, like we're talking about, Manny, where these people, act like somehow this is any of your business. Okay, you just got done saying that
You
just got done saying that their parents were there with them. Okay, I spent a lot of time in bars when I was growing up. Okay, it's not something that I'm, like I'm saying, oh, I'm special or something. I'm not saying that. What I'm telling you is this is the kind of shit that happens. Okay, this is the real world. Now, I don't know about gay bars. When I was a kid, I didn't spend a lot of time in gay bars. As an adult, I've spent more than enough time in gay bars. But I did spend a lot of time in bars when I was a kid. And I think, again, if they're with their parents, then it has nothing to do with you, dude.
Okay. But I don't have any issue if the drag queen people or the gays, they're trying to have their little shoulder. However, if they're actually doing the same type of things in front of little children, which is absolutely wrong, Max. That is grooming, that's borderline pedophilic.
No, look, dude, look again. You're just passing a judgment that's not yours to pass. Okay, I know people love to do that. I know people love to do that. Okay, but it's not your children. So you can protect your children and raise your children the way you think that you should. And that's the way everyone should raise their children.
Maybe you're absolutely right. I don't have any skin in the game because I don't have a kid box. But if I have somebody doing the same thing to my children, if I had any children though, I won't give a crap if they come homophobic or they arrest me for hate, quote-unquote hate speech or hate crimes. So nobody touches children and do those kind of things in front of children. That is absolutely wrong. There is no moral high ground when it comes to this. There is no moral justification for those kind of behavior modes. And quite frankly, those people are making look the whole LGBT community so bad. That is actually when the pendulum swings back, it's going to swing back so hard that it's going to drag people that were not involved with this kind of craziness. These people need to go to jail, and they need to actually be put on a sex offender list. And I'm not projecting. This is actually real life. And you saw it.
Okay, their parents were there. Okay, are you saying that their parents? Are you saying that their parents are being pedophilic? Are you saying that their parents need to be put on list?
Yes.
Okay, well that's
that's
not your call. That's not your call either. That's okay. The video's everywhere, so that call is for the authorities, not for you. Okay, so why you want to keep getting involved in other people's business is something that I don't understand exactly.
Because it's morally wrong. Because this is a behavior that should be unacceptable.
Look, man, you believe in God, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and God is going to pass judgment when we're all done here, right? That's what you believe?
Yeah.
And how do you think God would feel about you passing judgment before God gets the chance to?
There's a limit when it comes to tolerance, and that is reaching the limit right there. That is just crossing the limit right there.
Okay, well, I think God still makes that call.
If they want to be over stuff, that's a fucking problem. But don't fucking do it in front of minors.
They're not your kids. They're there with their parents. Okay? It's none of your fucking business.
Hold on, are you defending something that is very undefensible, Max? Because I lose part of you, Max, and this is not going to age well.
Look, I don't give a fuck. I never have given a fuck, and I'm not about to start giving a fuck now. Okay? Here's where we're at, Manny. Those parents have to raise their kids the way they see fit. And if they don't do that, then they're shorting the kids. They're not doing the best job they can. And then 20 years from now, they're going to feel like they're a failure because they didn't do the best by their kids. Now, if they're doing what they think is right, it's none of your goddamn business, man.
All right, boss, all right, don't get angry on me.
I'm not angry. I'm trying to get you to understand. You have your kids, and if somebody was telling you, hey, what you're doing is borderline pedophilic, you'd probably punch them in the fucking mouth.
Well, that's a fair point.
So when you have kids and you see somebody raising their children wrong, what I recommend is that you walk right up to them and you tell them how fucked up they are. And they need to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That sound fair?
Okay, Mark.
Okay.
I mean, it's a fair point, Mark, and I mean, to be fair, I don't have any kids. I don't have any skin on the game. I just feel that it's completely reprehensible what those people are doing. And they're going to be judged and they're going to be punished eventually. Unfortunately, when the whole pendulum swings, it's going to swing so hard that it's going to drag some people over their feet. Innocent people are going to pay as well.
How is it that you think the pendulum hasn't already swung, dude? What is it you think that this pendulum is going to swing to? Hatred of homosexuals?
That's what it's leading next, Max. That's what it's leading.
It's what we've already. That's what we've already been through for generations. That's what this whole pride thing is about. We don't have to hide anymore and get our asses beat every time we come out of the closet.
And there's nothing wrong to come out of the closet, Max. It's just like there's certain behaviors that they do that is I don't
like sodomy, like sodomy.
No. I'm talking about like dancing naked in the middle of the street in front of children.
There's nothing wrong with being naked. Jesus Christ said in the Bible, "Come to me naked as children," meaning children, when they're naked, run around innocent like they have no idea that it's wrong, because it's not wrong. And that's how Jesus wants you to come to him, Manny. Not all fucking, ooh, those people are naked. Fucking get over it, dude.
Okay, Bob.
I'm just trying to save your soul, Manny. I'm just trying to save your soul, man.
That's a very subjective statement, Mark.
You're going to tell me about subjective statements? Okay.
All right. Anyway, just want to say hi.
Oh, it's always good to hear from you, Manny.
All right. Talk to you later.
Okay, I hope so. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. I don't know. I'm not trying to judge somebody. I'm just saying nobody wants that, you know? I talk about the crazy lady that lives across the street, right? And she just shouts. She just stands in her fenced yard, which is 6 foot tall fence or something, and she just shouts and shouts and shouts, about Princess Bride and T.S. Lewis Narnia, and the CIA and the FBI. And I was telling you, when I walked past her house, she's like, "Hey, how about I give that beard how about I give your Billy Goat beard a trim with a meat cleaver?" So anyways, we haven't heard from her for like 3 weeks. I'm kind of concerned about her, but I get the feeling the other neighbors don't care. And all I can think about is, love thy neighbor, right? What?
Sorry, sir. I'm just trying to call in. I'm a chatter. My name is Dr. Whisper. I'm trying to call in. I'm trying to have a conversation about the subject matter of, like, in my world, okay, I can't believe I have to say this. I'm a dude. I'm a man. I'm a guy. I was a boy, My parents were saying when, boy, when? When are you going to get your life together? I still haven't done it, And sex, I guess we fucked up a long time ago and said who you have sex with or something, so we have this new word now that sex means sex with everyone, and including children, I feel like that this is a really bad thing. I don't think that this is cool at all.
Well, it's none of your business, is it?
Yes, it is my business.
You have
Michael.
children?
Yes, I fucking do.
You do? Is that right?
Yes, I do.
How many how many that you know of do you have?
I have 2 nephews and a niece. Okay? Okay, so, and they've been with me my whole life. Okay, and I know these kids. And I know they're going through some shit.
We're all going through
right
some
now
shit.
In the world.
We're all going through some shit.
Because their dad isn't around. And their moms and grandmas thinking they're going to fucking, and they live off the government and shit. They think that this is the shit that they need to be taught in their fucking life at the same time as going to fucking school and fucking having a dude dressed in drag fucking queen outfit like some stripper with their fucking nuts hanging out and their fucking ass hanging out and fucking doing hormone blockers and trying to fucking make kids do this shit. And in California...
You just ramble from one fucking talking point to the next. And hormone blockers and balls and nuts. Balls and nuts are the same thing, aren't they?
And in California is the highest hormone blocker medication put and forced on kids in the entire country. Why is that?
Who's forcing it on them?
Their parents.
Well,
and their doctors.
Their parents force
and their
parents force a lot of things on their children. That's none of your business either.
Not only that, but their local and state government are encouraging this behavior as well.
I don't think that they're encouraging it.
Well,
they're simply allowing it to happen and protecting it from, people bashing.
What are the parents supposed to do? Go do a school shooting during drag queen story hour?
No one.
Is that what
no one should do that ever. That's what mentally ill people do and suggest.
But mentally ill people do not fucking go to a school and dressed as a woman with like a thong on with their nuts hanging out, and the principals and the parents are allowing this. They're not mentally ill.
I thought you said this happened in a gay club, and I'm not here to judge who's mentally ill and who's not. What I know is that when someone goes and shoots a bunch of people that they have no idea who they are, the only way that could happen is if they're mentally ill. And anyone who can't understand that is probably mentally ill too.
So you thought I was just saying that they're bringing the kids to the gay club? Dude,
that's what you said.
Yeah, they are bringing the kids to the gay club. That's fucked up. And the fucking drag queens are going to the fucking...
Did you never go to a bar? Did you never go to a bar when you were a kid?
No, my mom was smarter than that.
Really? Well, my dad graduated MIT, so and I spent a lot of time in a bar when I was a kid.
Obviously, it didn't rub off on you too well.
Well,
back from the day.
How
long ago was that? Because MIT has been completely fucked after that. Dude, I mean, your dad got in when the getting was good, for sure.
Yeah.
Because nowadays, MIT is completely fucked with a bunch of gay shit.
that's fucking up our whole world, dude. Get a clue.
Dude, I bet you.
It's really strange how fucking fast and how fixed on this subject that you are. Like it really is important to you in some way that like
I got another point.
It
I
makes
got another
sense
one. I'm like
that you're like so concerned and thinking about it so much.
I know I am. I got another point. I bet you Chris from Olympia was thinking, wow, this is an amazing article. I just realized that MIT actually were the ones that, did the specs and all the measuring for the bullets to be rainbow colored so we could do that new fucking colored fucking helmet
You
thing.
seriously have a thing for homos. I don't know what it is, but it's very telling. And I would suggest that you speak with someone who understands psychology much better than I do.
Right now.
I understand it
I'm
pretty
gonna
well,
admit this right now.
but you just go on and on about this
homophobic.
homosexual stuff as if it's so important to you.
I think I'm homophobic, dude. I
think you're
that
homo.
I could be,
I think you're a
I'm
homophobic
scared of
homo.
these- I'm swear to God, I'm scared of these fucking gay people. They're literally fucking trying to fucking break into your fucking house.
You need to
They're
talk.
trying to go in through your fucking kitchen.
You need to
window.
talk to a
This shit is
psychologist
not-
about this, dude.
You act like this shit is not a big deal. It is a big deal. They are doing the most fucked up shit, dude. I'm telling you.
There's war profiteering.
You know what?
Profiteers
You asked me one time.
blowing little children up into a million pieces. And by the way, they do a lot of other nasty things to little children. And you're concerned about drag queens, is that right?
Right.
Yeah,
That
okay.
is, so blowing up all the little children
It's fine.
supposedly
For
is
profit.
It's a distraction so that you don't fucking pay attention to the drag queen story. Fucking
Right. See, that's the whole point. Thank you for making that point.
I'm just telling you, it's just saying, it's a fucking huge distraction. It's Gay Pride Month, and the fucking drag queens, which are males, running rampant, acting like fucking women in little fucking girls' restrooms. It is fucked up, dude, and I don't understand how you're...
I know you don't understand. That's the whole thing.
I don't understand
You're
how
like,
stick up
you're
with
like
these. Why
these
do you constantly
transsexuals
stick-
that are males. It's like you're just obsessed with dicks and balls, right? You have to define that these are transsexuals that have fucking cocks.
It's the crazy, fucked up shit with these adult men dressing like adult women, fucking going into kids' schools and their restrooms and stuff like that. It is pretty overwhelming. The proof is...
You have no children.
No, dude, I just told you I did.
No, you told me that you have nieces and nephews. Are you over there helping them and protecting them and taking care of them, or you just want to use them as an excuse for this particular subject?
Listen here, motherfucker, they're all grown now, you son of a...
Well, then why are you saying you can't do with your children what I tell you, your nieces and nephews, and your freedom belongs to me?
I've done what I can. I've done what I can to fucking tell them, listen, stop trying to be cool, don't kiss ass like Mox News. Fuck kids, listen, don't fucking be a fucking ass kissing motherfucker like Mox News. You fucking watch out for these weird ass motherfuckers that promote this shit. Okay? If they are promoting drag queen fucking story hour, then you need to stay the fuck away from them because they are clearly
No, you need to stay the
crazy
fuck
as
away from them.
fuck.
So, because you're clearly crazy as fuck.
How?
You need to stay away from them because you're talking about fucking shooting up places and stuff. It needs to, this is the kind of thing that.
What place do I want to shoot up?
You were talking. Look, I don't want to bring it up again. The thing is that you're obsessed with this. You talk about it all the time, and I'm telling you that if you were talking to a psychologist about this, they'd have some really interesting input for you.
Yeah, they would. They'd be like, you know what they'd be? They'd be saying, oh shit, I honestly can't disagree with this guy. If someone was doing this, if this adult male was doing all this fucking weird shit around his kids, and he went over there and fucking killed them, I kind of feel like that we probably shoot for the lower.
Why are you equating transsexuals with fucking murderers?
I'm saying.
And pedophiles.
We should fucking murder these pedophile drag queens.
Okay. We should not be murdering people because that's something that only mentally ill people do. Even if your woman cheats on you, you don't murder people because then she wins. You spend the rest of your life in jail and she gets to bang whoever the fuck she wants. Good plan. Don't murder people. Murdering people is something that only crazy people do. Okay? And I understand, love can make you crazy, but it's not a good excuse. And it won't turn out well. No matter what. I mean, unless of course you're going to put one in your skull. And I wouldn't recommend that either. There's there's like so much karma involved there that it take lifetimes to get over, So, and I really recommend that suicide is not a good way to go because you don't get anywhere. If you believe in karma, if you believe in reincarnation, and you kill yourself, except for very, very slim amount of circumstances, if you were in prison for life or something, I could see not wanting to spend life in prison or anywhere else, mental institution. I was talking about my neighbor, the crazy lady across the street. We haven't heard from her. She shouts, she stands in her yard, which is fenced. Her whole house is fenced. And she shouts about C.S. Lewis, Narnia, and Princess Bride, and all this other stuff, kind of like the last caller is going to wind up doing one of these days. And we haven't heard from her for like 3 weeks, And I know it's because the neighbors did something to get her in trouble somehow. And I'm not sure, like I said, she'll shout out at me rude things, when I'm walking by. But I always just wave to her, and smile. I don't say anything, just wave to her and smile. Don't give me your royal wave. Don't give me your royal wave. She's crazy. And it's like the neighbors are kind of like patting themselves on the back. I keep thinking, where is she? I hope she's okay. I see her social worker across the street. Here's this crazy person, and she lives all by herself. And as far as I can tell, she's functional. She rides her bike to the grocery store. I've seen her drive. Except for she has this screw loose in her head where she shouts. I'm not sure that she does other things, but I know that she shouts. So I'm concerned. I hope that she's okay. And it seems like that's the neighborly thing to do. Love thy neighbor, right? You're like, I hope she's okay. And I saw her social worker across the street today. I was going to run over there and see if she would tell me anything about her. But I didn't make it over there in time. I'm gonna talk to one of the neighbors, because one of the neighbors that I talk to regularly, that I give cookies to and plants to and stuff, I can talk to one of the neighbors, and he lives right next door. They live right next door, and find out, hopefully find out a little more. But I haven't seen them the last week or so, 10 days, something like that. I did, you know, she's gone through quiet periods before, which I don't know if she went somewhere. Like right now, she could be with her parents or something. I hope that she's somewhere where she's getting lots of support, you know, because I can't imagine how, you know, being an adult and then, you know, doing your best to function in the world when you're, you know, who knows how she perceives things, you know. I hope she's okay. So that being said, I have more videos, and if you guys, you know, this show is not about the whole transsexual thing, and I don't know why people want to talk about the transsexual thing. You know, like I said, you know, he's going on and on about gay bars, about kids being at a gay bar. When I was growing up, I went to lots of bars. My dad was in construction, and you know, if it rained, a lot of time we wound up at the bar. So he liked his booze. So we'd go at the bar, and he'd know everybody there. He knew everybody, and we'd hang out there, and we go to other bar, and we hang out at other bar. He'd go to friends' houses that were all fucking tipping them back. It wasn't. I don't know exactly why. You know, when it's a gay bar. I mean, if it was kids going to a bar, you know, not when the bar's packed full of people, although, you know, I've been in there with lots of people. Kids going to a bar, you know, it's, I don't know, is that outrageous? Is that something where you go, oh my God, there's a kid in there? You know, I mean, somebody let their kid in a bar. I know there's rules and everything. But rules don't apply to everyone. For some people, they're just mild suggestions. Like the people who don't stop to let people at the crosswalk cross. For those people, rules are just mild suggestions. So where were we? It's almost time for a bong hit, but we should play a video first. I'm gonna play the Tulsi Gabbard video. She says, she said something really powerful in here, and that was Whisper again. She said something really powerful in here, and I wanted to play it for you, and I can't pull it out in my head right now.
Press 1 to take this call.
Hello, caller.
Hey, Mark.
What's up, Manny?
I forgot to talk to you about this. I mean, Mark, you're defending something that is very indefensible, so you're losing already. But anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. I want to talk about the concept of drag queen itself. Let me tell you what I think about it. Drag queens are the black face of woman. Let me explain you why.
Uh-huh.
Remember when blackface used to be a thing where like white guys used to dress all black. They used to put like a lot of black.
I know what blackface is, and I have some understanding of the history of it.
Okay. You know how offensive that is to black men, right? And the African American identity itself. How degrading and how caricaturish and how demeaning that was for black men, even today though. This is why people who actually put like black paint on their faces is ostracized and judged harshly because that's not okay.
Like Justin Trudeau?
Yeah, like Justin. Well, isn't that the whole concept of drag queen the same thing?
I don't think so. They're expressing their
racism-
sexuality. This is who they are. They're not pretending to be something else as some kind of comical thing.
They're dressing as a woman.
Yeah.
They're making an exaggeration and a caricature of the woman identity. And on top of that, they're pretending to be something that they're not.
I don't think that they're doing that big an exaggeration if you compare them with the Kardashians.
look-
If you
look
compare
at
them
the-
with the Kardashians, I don't think they're doing that big an exaggeration.
I have more respect for the Kardashians than I actually have for.
I know you don't respect homos, Manny. We get it. You don't respect homosexuals, okay? And apparently other people's sexuality too. Is sodomy okay, Manny?
Based on values, no.
No, I'm just saying. Is that something you have a problem with too?
I do. Anyway, that's the point. Yeah, I think the whole concept of drag queens is wrong. That they're making fun of women. And I don't understand why liberal women are applauding like a bunch of seals and seaworms. Like, oh my God.
Because they're connecting with their feminine side, okay? This is the fact, Manny. All people have a male side and a feminine side, okay? All people. Now, that's because that's the yin and the yang. It's how it works, okay? So, these people are connecting with their feminine side. It's how they want to express themselves. That's how they feel is genuine expression of themselves. And here you are trying to act like, you decide what's okay for people to express themselves as. And you're doing it in this like demeaning way where it's like, oh, well, this is blackface. No, it's not. Okay? And why women are applauding for it is because it's these men connecting with their real selves. Their feminine selves.
The men making fun of women, making demeaning statements and making it feel like, look, they're making fun of women's identity. That's one of the most misogynistic things that you can see out there. And women are freaking applauding them like a freaking like a seagull on a seaworm, man. That is the most disgusting thing. And I mean, Mark, that is one of the things that really baffles me as a man. Like, how the fuck these women are applauding that kind of thing when these guys are taking that identity, they're making a caricature, and they're making fun of women. I cannot understand that concept, Mark. And quite frankly, if they want to be a cross-dressers and they want to do the little show on the little fucking bar, that's fine for me.
Manny, these people, look at Manny, okay, I don't know how many transsexuals you know, I don't know how many you walk around on a regular basis. I go out, I see them on a regular basis. Now, that being said, the more mannish they are, the more they act like what you're talking about. These ones that you're talking about are generally over 6 feet tall, and they're doing their best to over-accent their feminine side in hopes that someone will see that they really are a woman on side, in hopes that someone will overlook their mannish qualities and see that, because they're overemphasizing it. They want to make it, they want to make it clear that this is how they feel on the inside. And I don't understand why you have this obsession with these people.
No, I don't have an obsession though. I'm just baffled because of this realization that's pretty much. If you actually make the comparison between blackface and blackface, your freaking mind open up and you kind of realize why the fuck woman is actually supporting this kind of crap stuff. They're making fun of that identity. They're making fun of them having children, Mark. They're calling childbearing people. They don't even call them women anymore. Like, proof and feminists, freaking feminists, are applauding this type of thing. They're applauding their own fucking demise. I don't understand that.
Because it's someone expressing themselves openly and freely and, as they would think, completely genuinely. So, and other people who've been oppressed, like females, see that as a positive thing. So whatever it is that you're thinking where you need to be judging people, it seems to me, Manny, that what I just said about expressing themselves openly and other oppressed people, that you should be able to understand that easily. And maybe you could cut some people some slack because you don't want to be judged either.
Okay. Now you mentioned that the pressing part. Okay, I understand that a pressing part as well, Max. But still, the fact that these people are doing demeaning things to women. In fact, these people are making a fun and a character woman.
Look, dude, in the time of woke everything, do you think somebody's going to get away with demeaning women on a large scale? It's not going to happen. No, this is woke everything, and if that's what was going on, then there'd be this big movement in the woke community that you're demeaning women. You can't demean women. It's not right. So that's not what's happening.
Some of them are realize that what I'm saying is right, Mark. They just don't want to talk about it though, because there's some freaking weird cultist behavior that if you don't agree with what they're doing though, or what these people are doing, you're the evil. You're the worst type of person ever, Mark. And some women know about this, Mark, and some women, they're already fed up with this kind of behavior though, that they're demeaning their identity. And Mark, they're making fun of the freaking woman, man. Think about that.
I don't think, again, you're not gay, you're not open-minded, and you're not a woman. So I don't know how you can see things from all this standpoint of understanding, okay? You're not trying to understand, number one. You don't even think, oh, well, I'm not a woman, so I'm not sure, how women think. And you're not, you have, it seems to me that you have zero perspective on the gay community. So I don't know why you want to talk about this shit, Manny.
Because it's morally wrong, and I kind of realize
it's not. Look at this. For you, it's morally wrong. Okay, morals are a very personal thing. You do what's morally right for you, and you let others figure out what's morally right for them. Also, Manny, you're not here to pass that kind of judgment, and you need to get over your fucking self.
I think you're right. I'm not here to pass judgment, though, but I'm just expressing my.
You say you're not here to express judgment, and you just got done saying that morally they're deviant or whatever. That's 100% passing judgment. And again, you're not a woman, and you're talking about how women feel, and you're not. It's just it's so strange that this bothers you so much that you act like it's. I don't understand, Manny. Look, you have a good life, and focus on these little things that you're never going to affect, because you're not. Hopefully we can save children in Gaza. Hopefully we can end hungry people. Hopefully we can end homelessness. But this shit about, oh, these people are living their life in a lifestyle that I don't approve of. Fuck you.
Come on, man.
What? What does that mean?
Tell me to go screw myself, Max.
What?
Anyway, just wanted to explain that though. Like, I don't understand why women are actually dealing with this kind of crap.
But
this kind of crap because they're making fun of the holidays.
But you don't want to understand, Manny. I just explained it to you. You're not open to understanding.
Anyway.
Okay.
Take it easy.
Okay. Bye. Thanks for calling. Good to hear from you. So, and that's what I'm saying is that he's he says, I don't understand. I don't understand. And that's what the truth is. That's what I'm saying. You don't understand what it means to be a woman. You don't understand what it means to be gay or transsexual and be trying to make a genuine expression of who you are as that person. And because you don't understand these things, you really have nothing to say about it. whatever you have to say about it is just from this so far outside perspective that it's, you know, it's how can it possibly be any of your business? It's so far away from your reality, your world, that you know, you're right here, and what you're talking about is somewhere off in maybe happen land, okay? But it's not happening in your community. If it is, then go out and protest in your community and see how go down there and talk about how this is demeaning to women. And there'll be all this women going, who the fuck are you speaking for us? Right? Women should decide what's demeaning to women. Okay? Not some man who's mansplaining it to them. How can you not understand this? It's because women are so stupid. I don't think women are stupid. I love hanging out with smart women, intelligent, open-minded, aware people in general. So, as I was saying a half an hour ago, I'm going to play this Tulsi Gabbard clip. She says something very interesting about it's all bullshit or something, you know. So they're talking about, you know, how this takeover of freedom of speech, of all our rights, and how it's headed this horrible direction. You know, I gotta have a break. Call back. Okay, so I'll be back momentarily. I think you want to see the Tulsi Gabbard clip, so I will play it for you momentarily. And in fact, I'll play it for you now. Be right back.
Look at what's playing out right now with Papa Pelosi, Paulie P., Nancy's hubby. Nancy goes out of town. He gets drunk, smashes up his shiny new Porsche. What was he doing out so late anyway? Going stag to a dinner party? Police gave him a blood alcohol test. He obviously failed. But that's when the liberal privilege kicked in. It's been more than a week, and the California Highway Patrol still won't give us his mugshot. Why is this mugshot different than any other American's mugshot? And while we're at it, where's the footage from the cops' body cams, the dash cams, the surveillance cameras in the drunk tank? It's all mysteriously missing. And we can't get a straight answer out of anybody in California. The California Highway Patrol is run by a woman named Amanda Ray. There she is. Ray is a Democrat appointed by Gavin Newsom. This is a political position, and it appears to be working as designed. A member of the California royal family gets arrested by Highway Patrol, and then the next day, all the evidence vanishes. Nobody can find it. Amanda Ray's job is to protect and serve the people of California, not just the Pelosi's. Right now, it looks like she's involved in a massive cover-up to protect the most powerful woman in the country. We've called Ray's office dozens of times. She won't take our calls. We have lawyers involved. We sent her a letter today, certified mail, asking her to answer some simple questions about that night. Was Paul Pelosi arrested? Did police take a mugshot? Were the officers wearing body cameras? Where is the footage? Was it acid washed? And what was Nancy Pelosi's involvement in all this? Did she call Newsom to make it all go away? We don't know, but we have every right to know. We'll get to the bottom of this. We have lawyers. They're looking into it, and we'll have an update for you very soon. Liberal privilege is real, and it's dangerous. Crimes in this country can't go unpunished for just a few. Under Joe Biden, criminals are being rewarded. Hunter is selling finger paintings for hundreds of thousands of dollars a pop, and they're no good. And we just learned today his Vegas call girl got a $20,000 PPP loan. Apparently, she fell under the category of independent artists, writers, and performers. I guess the performer is what she was. That is liberal privilege. As for Paulie P., he's already back to slinging stocks again. Today it was over $2 million in Apple and Microsoft, in case you're looking for some stock tips. Now you know. Again, liberal privilege. As for you, you don't get that privilege. You're just another deplorable in the eyes of Washington's most powerful. They may be the ones screwing up all the time, but you're the ones getting the book thrown at you. Primetime won't stand for this, and the American people shouldn't either. Tulsi Gabbard is a former Democratic presidential candidate and former Hawaii congresswoman. How does it make you feel when you see people just get away with things? If your mugshot was out from a DUI, mine, come on, it would be out there. Or you smoke crack, waved around a loaded hot gun in front of a prostitute. You think you'd be able to get away with that, Tulsi?
The answer is no, but also I would never do any of those
Right.
things. First of all, let's just put that out there straight.
Thanks for clearing that up.
It pisses me off, you know. It is this double standard that you're talking about between those in power and then there's the rest of us. We see it in all the examples that you showed here. We see it with this insider trading that Pelosi does and has been doing for quite some time, but is also very blatantly advocating for. I introduced legislation in Congress to prohibit members of Congress and their spouses from trading in stocks, period, for even any perception of insider trading, because your job is to serve the people and not, you know, cushion your own bank account. But you know, one of the hypocritical things I see, you pointed out a number of them, one of the hypocritical things I see here is that President Biden and his administration take a lot of time touting how great our democracy is around the world and how we follow the rule of law and so on and so forth, and that autocracies with oligarchs should look to us to copy what we do. And yet we have this living example of the oligarchs of America in people like Pelosi and Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, showing exactly what our democracy should not be.
If you're some king or some psycho autocrat and you see some of the crooked stuff that's going on in this country with Hunter, the money, with Paulie P, all this stuff, you got political opponents being shackled with leg irons hauled off a plane. Come on. You can't make hay out of that in a little propaganda piece.
Exactly. And if you describe that without talking about names or where it was taking place, that's what a normal person would think. Like, what foreign country is this happening in? Because that's not the America our founders envisioned for us. That's not what we are supposed to be about in this country. And that's where it's so disheartening to see that the very people we have in charge are the ones dishonoring that vision our founders had and abusing that power.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't get the mugshot, so we had to do a sketch. Okay. Some of the producers put together a sketch of what we think maybe the mugshot would look like. And we'll show that for you. We put it up earlier in the week. And this Amanda woman who runs the California Highway Patrol, I mean, she knows what she's doing. You can't have someone, there she is, you can't have someone arrested. And if you know, their numbers up, if you're as interested in we are in getting the mugshot and the body cam footage, you know, that's how you contact her. It's a political position. She obviously knows she's got a little hot potato sitting in the department's office. And she can't not know that they're not releasing it. I mean, we've been banging the door down, so what is she hiding?
Yeah, I mean, that is the real question. When you're showing that picture and you're looking at this person who's in a leadership position of those who wear the uniform, who are charged with enforcing the law, and you see this intentional cover-up, you see this very direct and blatant abuse of power, is exactly why people start to lose faith and trust in these institutions that are supposed to represent the rule of law and that are supposed to represent the best public interests, not the interests of Nancy Pelosi and her husband.
All right. Tulsi Gabbard, thank you so much.
Thanks, Jesse.
All right. Coming up.
So I was gonna get the bong ready for a bong hit. I think what they're talking about is obvious. I think that I think that they're grooming. Fox News is grooming Tulsi Gabbard for some kind of her own show. That's at least the second show on Fox she was on today. I think it's entirely possible that she, you know, next right after the political season, she might get her own show. My guess is somewhere, you know, like 6 months out or so, you know, first of the year. Now, that being said, I hope not. Because if she gets her own show, that means that she can't run for president. I mean, she could run for president, but, and it's a big but. She can run for president, but if she does, she can only have a contract. She can only work for a news press agency for so long. Like, she can't campaign and work for Fox News at the same time. So I kind of hope that she doesn't get a gig with Fox News, because because they're not going to give her her own show and then she starts running for president. It doesn't work that way. So I hope she doesn't get one, but it kind of looks like she might be getting one, which it would be nice to see her and hear her voice out into, because she doesn't seem like, like she's just saying stuff to say it. I think, fuck, where is that? Blue bar, duh. I don't think she's saying stuff just to say it. I think that she's been extremely consistent, except for the whole, we have to support Hillary now. I hate this two-party system bullshit. This is the center of everything that's wrong with our country. Everything that's wrong with our country starts with the two-party system. And no one seems to be addressing that at all. And you know why? Because the two-party system works very, very well for the currently elected politicians. They like there only being a Democrat choice and a Republican choice. Because those people suck. That's all they tell you. Those people suck. They suck so much. And the truth is, both sides suck. So this is what's fucking us. We only have these two choices, and these two choices are completely sold out to the highest bidder. Big oil, big pharma, big tobacco, big alcohol, big pharma. The list goes on. And I believe, again, it's solely because of this two-party shit. That's what allows it to get away with. Because they both sit there and go, oh no, those are the bad guys. And it never goes anywhere. So, and then there's this fucking whole weird election, and because this is pretty much the weirdest election of my lifetime. And the 2000 election was really fucked up stupid. Although it's a close runner-up, it could go either way, honestly. 2000 election, 2020 election. Really fucked up. I'm telling you, the 2000 election, the White House and the Congress was not surrounded by Constantine wire and armed National Guard troops. Okay, that's the 2020 election. In the 2000 election, which was incredibly contested, that didn't happen. It took weeks and weeks and weeks to figure out who was going to be the next president of the United States in the 2000 election. But there was no we have to surround the Congress and the White House in barbed wire, razor barbed wire, and 12-foot tall chain link fences and armed National Guardsmen. I don't know if it's ever been that way in the history of the United States, but I can tell you that that's not the way in my lifetime an election's ever gone down. As far as I know, the only elections I've ever seen go down like that are third world nations, where coups happen. And, you have to ask yourself, is that true? All right, so where were we, people? Oh, right, Bob. I'll get time. Look. If we got rid of the two-party system, we could transform this country. And I don't know if it's possible. I don't believe that it's possible, because they're in control. The two parties are in control. So how do we get rid of them? Send them all to prison. I like that idea a lot, as you know. But how do we get that law passed, right? And we can't do some kind of an insurrection, because they got that covered now. And they're going to send us all to prison for life because we're seditionists, not proud Americans trying to take our government back. Which, you know, I don't give a fuck, proud American. I don't give a fuck about, you know, about our... I don't give a fuck about politicians, you know, living extravagant lifestyles. I really don't. If they did their job, if they didn't sell us out to the highest bidder, if they weren't responsible for murdering women and children around the world, solely for profit, you know, in your name, in our names, okay, then, you know, I might be able to overlook these politicians as, you know, just being, this is what politicians do. But they're murdering people in our names, with our money. And I don't like that. Okay? I don't like that. They can be corrupt and evil. They don't have to murder little children. You know, oh, transsexuals. Little children are being murdered around the world right now, in this moment, by war profiteers, done in your names, in our names. In our names. Little children murdered in our names. You know, I'm not talking about some little kid in an abortion clinic, you know, not a little kid, you know, somebody getting an abortion. I'm not talking about that. Again, none of your goddamn business, okay? What I'm talking about, hold on. What I'm talking about is that, God damn it. God damn it. Hello, caller.
Hey, Mike. How's your night? Oh, I know. You're having a good night. Are you having a good night?
Yes, it's fine.
More or less. I'm sitting outside right now, and the clouds are billowing up, and it's, you know, it's not dark out, but it just kind of has that feeling just like before the beginning of The Wizard of Oz. Everything is very still, and it's very cloudy.
Sounds nice.
Yeah. Definitely. Did you have a good afternoon?
Yeah, I got 2 plants that popped up. Of the ones we started last week on Thursday, 2 of them popped up so far. They're out in the backyard already.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cleared some vegetable beds today and worked out in the yard when we had our sun break today. We had a good day. So I got a chance to, I don't know, 2 fairly large beds are cleared. So all I have to do is rake them out, and then I can start planting vegetables.
Nice.
Yeah, I like vegetables. I mean, it's worth my time to, you know, plant whatever, 20 square feet of vegetables just to have something to do in the backyard. Yeah, it's fun.
Cool.
Anyway, I wanted to share a story with you, and I wanted to do it. It's 2 minutes long, but in my very best whisper voice. And it's almost an onion piece, Mike. That's what's really weird about it. It's a news story from Oakland, California, Channel 7 News, which is an ABC affiliate. And the title of the story is Alameda Police and Firefighters Watch as a Man Drowns, from Alameda, California. Alameda police and firefighters stood by and watched as a man drowned off Crown Beach in Alameda on Monday. Authorities are now trying to explain why they had no choice but to stand on the shoreline. The police received a call shortly before noon on Monday from a woman saying her son wanted to kill himself. Raymond, 53, then walked into the water off Crown Beach. I thought it was kind of weird. They weren't going out to bring this guy in. You know, he was out there. His head was above the water, and he was staring at everybody. There was plenty of time for them to react, witness Harry Smith said. For more than 1 hour, Zach stood up to his neck in the frigid surf off of Crown Beach in Alameda. Quote, well, we expected to see at some point that there would be a concern for him and that somebody would go out there and pull him in, witness Gary Barlow said. About 75 beachgoers, 75 people could not understand why the Alameda police and firefighters stood idly by and watched the man slowly succumb to the 60-degree water. Quote, we're not trained to go in the water. Obviously, the type of gear that we have on, we don't have the type of equipment that you would use to go into the water, Alameda Police Lieutenant McNiff said. The man was 150 yards out, too shallow for a Coast Guard boat, and helicopter was on a different call. It arrived too late. It's horrible, Barlow said. How could we let this happen? How can our emergency personnel allow this to happen? I don't understand. I don't get it. The Alameda Fire Department says budget constraints are preventing it from recertifying its firefighters and land-based water refuse. Without it, the city would be open to liability. And anyway, I thought that story, Alameda police firefighters watch as man drowns, could have been right from the fucking Onion, Mike. That could have been word for word from a satirical newspaper.
I think they would have done it a little bit more satirical, but yeah, it seems like that kind of story is perfect for that, for sure.
Yeah, and doesn't it say a lot, like, you know, I mean, California's right, you know, whatever, next to the bay, next to the water, the police departments there are next to the water all the time, and for them to not go into the water, pull a person in, is crazy. And just watching with people on the beach, watching this person drowned for an hour.
Was there a lot of people? Why didn't somebody else go in?
Said 75 people were there. They said he was 150 yards out.
That shouldn't be a lot. That shouldn't be a lot for someone who's a swimmer. You know, anybody who.
Yeah, a strong swimmer could have been able to do that. I don't know, Mike, but it just was another example in my brain, in my little brain, of like the police department just not fulfilling their basic responsibilities for safety, public safety for the community, which I think is one of the important parts of their jobs. So I watched a couple of movies this weekend by this director, Gary Ross. And ironically, the last thing I saw last night when I went to sleep, Mike, was the end of Matthew McConaughey's movie. He was the last person I saw in my brain last night at 3 a.m. before I went to sleep and heard what he had said. But one of the movies I watched was Pleasantville.
Yeah.
And that's a movie where these kids, that would be Tobey Maguire and Reese Witherspoon, fall into a television program from the 1950s after Don Knotts, the TV repairman, gives them a funny remote control, and they just go right back into this TV show. And the movie is like showing us like what the different social constraints were during that time, how people acted, and how people act differently today. Kind of like that movie Back to the Future. It was very similar to that Back to the Future kind of a theme. And one of the opening scenes in that movie shows the fire department showing up in front of a house with 3 people fully equipped for a fire, unloading their stuff, a ladder, and then taking the ladder up to a tree without anybody pointing, going up the tree and taking a cat out of the tree, and then turning around and smiling at the 2 people who had just been transported to television land.
Well, I think some people are actual public servants. You know, I don't know. About cops. I think there's cops that are actual public servants too, but it seems to me that the vast majority of them at this point have massive chips on their shoulder.
Cops do, generally.
Jackie Katz said she just watched Pleasantville also. and that she rather
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
wasn't that amazing, Jackie? Though that movie was very, very good. I highly recommend it. It had a great cast: Joan Allen, William Macy, Jeff Daniels, and Reese Witherspoon and Tony McGuire. It had a good cast, and it just really put things in perspective about whatever positive things maybe that we've learned in the last 50 years that we could bring back to the past, but also some other things that exist in the past that... So at the end of the movie, the brother decides to come back to the future.
Spoiler alert!
Decides to say, sorry, whatever.
I'm just letting people know.
That's good. Yeah, that's fair. It was worth it. But the second movie by this guy, Gary Ross, he also did The Hunger Games, was another movie that he did, and he did the movie Seabiscuit. He's only made like 6 or 7 movies.
Huh.
He's a writer-director. Yeah. And the other movie was called The Free State of Jones with Matthew McConaughey from 2018. Did you see that, Mike?
I don't think so. I'm not a fan.
So-
I'm not a fan. I never have been.
You're not a fan. You're not a fan of the actor, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Or the director?
No, the actor.
Okay. The actor. All right. Well, the movie was almost a movie about gun rights, supporting gun rights. Really was.
Yeah.
So it was.
That's interesting. And was he in support of gun rights in the movie?
Yes.
What's his name? What's the name of the movie?
The movie is called Free State of Jones.
Okay.
And this is what the movie is about. During the Civil War, a Confederate Army soldier deserts from the Confederate Army and goes back to his farm, where he finds out that the Confederate Army has been taking so much food from the people that they can't even feed themselves. So he organizes with slaves and also with deserters from the Confederate Army, and he creates his own government in this county in southeastern Mississippi, and it's based on a true story. And there is kind of like this. Some of the criticisms in the movie were it's this white savior complex, a little bit like Dances with the Wolves, like the big white man saves us. But it was a good movie. I thought it was worth watching. He basically ends up saving his community as both sides, the Union Army and the Confederate Army, are destroying him by guns. All of the people raise guns and fight against the Confederate Army themselves. He ends up marrying an African-American woman and starting his own farm/community, biracial community in Mississippi during Reconstruction after the Civil War. And the movie also kind of shows in a snapshot the rise of the KKK and the response of people in the South, how they responded to Reconstruction being imposed upon them by the North, and how they raised up arms and did things like killed black people and killed poor white farmers who disagreed with them as the owners of the plantation came back to power. That's what the movie's about.
Sounds like a pretty good, interesting subject anyways.
It is an interesting subject. And in fact, in the movie, he asked for guns. As leading these people, he uses guns. He uses military tactics. But I guess the one thing about the movie that kind of can be related to the gun control issue or guns in general is even though he had guns and he armed his neighbors, when the Civil War was lost for the Confederacy, and then they accepted the Union troops and then they responded, in that time period, his guns didn't really help him very much. He reached a point where he either had to be completely apolitical and stay on his farm and not ever talk about politics ever again, or where he would be murdered by his neighbors who were more heavily armed than he was. You know, horseback riders, the KKK, like that. So at the end of the day, his guns did save him, like, in his community for the Civil War, but once the community, like, adapted after the Civil War, they didn't work for him anymore. His only choice was to retreat back to his farm or possibly move to the north.
Well, like I said, it sounds like a interesting scenario for a good movie, I would think.
Yeah. So anyway, that was one way that I spent my weekend watching those two films.
Right on. I saw a movie called Flower, and I didn't mean to see it. Craig was watching Breakfast Club on one of the streaming services, and
when's the last time you watched that movie?
I don't know. It seems like a real like white privilege kind of movie. I wasn't watching it, but I come in going, it seemed,
hey, Mike,
yeah.
You're hurting my feelings right now. You're hurting my feelings so much, I think I'm gonna punch you.
But he fell asleep, and there's a movie that came on after it, which is just like an autoplay thing on the streaming service, and it was called Flower, and it was like some high school angst movie, where this girl. Where this 17-year-old is going around blowing like adults, like she blew a cop, and she goes, okay, now I own your bitch ass. What's in your wallet? Give it to me. And she's high school, and they're just making all this money by doing this shit, right? But it's called Flower, and I was like, I didn't want to watch it. I just kept getting sucked into it, like, what the fuck?
I bet. Sucked into it. That's the operative word there. So, was it comedy, or was it was there a tragedy?
Yeah, it's pretty. It's like a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing, but it definitely had a lot of dark humor to it.
Well, that sounds interesting, at least, and very realistic in the world that we live in. That's a fact. I'm sure lots of cops are being blackmailed by, 16-year-old girls.
Well,
I'm sure it's happening.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's true or not, but I loved it when I saw it on the movie, the girl who played the 17-year-old girl that loves oral sex is just so fucking hot. She's like 28, but she needs to eat a cheeseburger because she's just a stick. But she was in Zombieland, the second one called Double Tap. And she played like this chick who is just like got long fingernails, and she's dressed up in high heels, and she's wandering around Zombieland, and she's like a total survivor. Like the zombies just can't get near her, and she just such an airhead, And I love it. I love that character, and but I didn't know that that's who she was. I kept going, man, where do I know this actress from? And
what was the actress's name?
I don't know. I could look it up, but I don't know. I don't.
This is the lead character in Flower.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll check that out. I'll find out who she is.
Yeah, I don't know that it's a good movie, but it sucked me all the way in. I was just like, fuck. I was not planning on watching that, and I'm like, fuck. All right, you got me.
So I did want to share one other story, and I'm not. And again, I'm pretty ambivalent about the gun thing, Mike. If people want to have guns, it's their right, it's their prerogative, I guess, right? I don't have guns, as I've explained to you. You've told me you don't personally have guns either. But this story comes from Florida, all right? It was from the Independent.com, which is a British newspaper. And I think that this might be the youngest person so far who's killed a person. And the title says, Mother is charged after 2-year-old uses her gun to shoot father dead. 28-year-old Florida woman was charged with manslaughter on Monday after her 2-year-old boy accidentally shot his father. The incident happened last month when 26-year-old Reggie Mappery was playing a video game in his home in Orlando, and one of his 3 children found a gun and fired it by hitting Marbury in the back. Authorities said that the victim and his 28-year-old wife were convicted felons and were not allowed to own guns. They both were on probation for child neglect and narcotics charges. Sheriff Nina of Orange County told a press conference on Monday. She was the mother, after her husband was killed by her 2-year-old, was charged with manslaughter and culpable negligence and possible of possession of firearm by a felon. She could face up to 15 years in prison. When the responders first arrived at the scene of the shooting, they initially believed it was death by suicide. After investigation, it was found that Miss Alia had heard a loud pop, which made her jump from the bed, and she found her husband bleeding on the floor. She told the police that it was the toddler who had fired the weapon. And later on in the story, it said the 5-year-old brother said the 2-year-old did it. And that was kind of interesting. But so a 2-year-old was, and then it says that the gun was not in a locked bag. Like, there was a gun bag, but the gun bag wasn't locked, and it was on the floor right next to a jacket that was hanging on a hook on the wall. And the kid just found it. And I also, ironically, the dad who got shot in the back and died was playing video games, was playing like first-person shooter video games, right?
I bet you, the 5-year-old did it. He got pissed and was like, I want to play. Boom, 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 boom.
Right. Well, then I thought, like, how fucking often does this happen? And I did a search, and then I found this other story from St. Louis that happened last November. So this is just 5 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
It says 7 months ago. It says 2-year-old accidentally shoots and kills father. It says a man died after he was accidentally shot in the back by his 2-year-old child Saturday evening. Happened on Castile Lane around 8:40 p.m. The child accidentally fired a rifle. Police have not said how the child got the rifle. Police say the man was not conscious or breathing when they arrived. They're still investigating, not clear. They called a 2-year-old a boy in this story. I thought that was pretty funny. And then there's this other one from March of this year. A 3-year-old fatally shot his mom with a gun when he found in the backseat of her car. And it says, a trip to the supermarket in Dolton, and this is outside of Chicago, turned fatal when a 3-year-old found a gun in the backseat of the vehicle, picked it up, and accidentally shot his mother, killing her. The mother, 22, pronounced dead at the medical center. According to information from Cook County Medical Examiner's Office, she was rushed to hospital after emergency responders located her suffering body from a gunshot wound at the grocery store, Food for Less. And then it goes on, it says this child has to go through the trauma for the rest of their life, going to miss his mother, and then, then there's some anti-gun rhetoric.
Yeah.
But I did. So,
I remember that story. That happened recently.
Yeah. So, yeah, that happened just this spring. So there's like 3 examples of parents who have toddlers, 2, 3-year-olds, and I don't know what the fuck, Mike, about that. Like, I'm not saying,
It's
and
bullshit, dude. Have you ever fired a gun? A pistol? Handgun?
No, I've not fired a pistol. No, I'm not really a gun person. No.
Okay, a 2-year-old and a 3. The likeliness that a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old would be able to pick up and fire a handgun is very unlikely, in my opinion. I have much experience with guns, and stories like that genuinely just can't be true, in my opinion. 2-year-old and 3-year-old could not do that. I don't believe.
There's 3 different places that the story's from, right? So,
yeah.
There's 3 different incidents where this is alleged to have happened that I found like in 5 minutes. So, I just am saying, if these incidents are true, then clearly some people are not being responsible. Not everybody is responsible. What the fuck does responsibility even mean, right? If you want to have, your 2-year-old crawling over armed weapons on your floor, then I guess that's your prerogative, right?
There shouldn't be, weapons sitting around on the floor. There shouldn't be weapons sitting visibly anywhere. But if a gun is in a drawer or something, that makes a lot of sense to me. It shouldn't have to be locked up. And they had this
ammunition, maybe a clip could be kept out of the gun or away from the gun.
No, that doesn't work, dude. No, that doesn't work.
Yeah. So the guns have to be armed. So I don't think. I think I did listen to what that Matthew McConaughey said.
The reason the guns have to be loaded is because if they're not loaded, if there's not one in the chamber, it's just a paperweight. Okay, so I mean, in an emergency situation, you're supposed to scramble around and find fucking bullets. Not a good idea.
I didn't say you had to scramble at all either. I just said not in the chamber, not in the magazine, and the actual gun. You could have the 2 items next to each other and be separate, one not with the other. So it's just literally inconvenience of slipping it into the cartridge.
Yeah, I could understand that. I mean, a 2-year-old would find that very difficult, but so would they find picking up a gun and pulling the trigger. It's not that simple.
Apparently, with this case in Florida, I read a couple stories from different sources about this, and the woman who is now going to go to prison said that she thought that any of her children would have been able to handle the gun and even take the gun out of the bag, partially because her husband had taken the gun out of the bag before, and they had all watched him. So it was like a focal point, right, of their little life. And therefore, she said they were completely aware of, like, you know, how to open the bag and such, even the little ones, the 2-year-olds. So, again, I don't know. So the guy in Washington, the actor who you don't like, I don't think he said ban guns, Mike. He actually, I think, said he learned how to use guns when he was a kid in Uvalde, Texas, like within a mile of where the school was.
And he's talking about, he's not talking about, you know, mental illness. I didn't hear that. So,
I think he did say mental illness.
Well, I sure hope so, because that should be what's addressed first and foremost, because that's what the problem is.
I think he did say mental health programs, like generally mental health programs. And I mean, I did read a paragraph and I did see that.
Good.
But I mean, I guess what people, as gun owners, like I'm not a gun owner, so I'm not even in the same ball game as this guy, right? But as gun owners, how are they responding to this? In other words, how do you make gun owners more responsible? You know? And that, I guess, education is the answer.
It's not gun owners that are doing this shit. Okay, look, if you say it was the 2-year-old that did this, the 2-year-old can't stand up and say, no, it wasn't. I didn't have anything to do with it. If you say that it was the 3-year-old that did it, the 3-year-old can't say, no, it wasn't. The 3-year-old's already fucking traumatized enough. The cops aren't going to fucking give it like 8 hours of questioning. You know, it's this.
Obviously,
I don't know. I don't even know how cops. What's that?
I'm actually talking about education of the parents, Mike. Right?
Yeah.
Like how to, like basic shit, like you said, like we just discussed, like keeping the cartridge out of the gun, but next to it in the drawers if you need it for an emergency, or whatever. Putting it in a gun bag, which has like a real simple 3-digit lock where it's open and then you can get to it really simple. You know, some kind of prevention that keeps children from accessing weapons. Like another story I saw in this, you know, I mean, I'm sure I could find many. This one was a 12-year-old walked into a convenience store and robbed a clerk at the convenience store, and she's just like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And the kid says, like, "I am fucking serious." He pointed a gun at her, and she's like, gave him the bag, the money bag, and they arrested him like 3 blocks later. The police did.
If someone's pointing a gun at you, you don't say, "Are you serious?" Hey, Keithy wants to know if you've ever seen this movie, The Hamburg Syndrome, from 1979. Hamburg Syndrome.
No, I haven't. I'm looking at it right. I'm looking for it right now. Hamburg Syndrome. I have not.
Keithy wanted to know. I told him I'd ask you.
Cool.
I don't think it will work with the revolver either, you know, because it's a lot to actually pull the trigger. A revolver, you have to completely turn the chamber, so it's not like with a automatic or semi-automatic weapon where you just have to squeeze the trigger. This one you have to have things move. And when you go to move stuff, it will pull, you know, and you don't know how to aim, you know, and the gun is heavy, you know. I just don't think it's, I can't see any way a 2-year-old could do that. You know, 5-year-old, maybe a 4-year-old, but you'd have to be a really advanced 2-year-old to be able to do something like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, those are extreme examples, right, Mike? I mean,
Yeah.
those are 3 extreme examples that are in the media. That we could find examples with 4-year-olds and 6-year-olds, and you know, and 12-year-olds and so on. Like the 12-year-old didn't buy the gun at a gun store; he took it from his parents, right? So his parents didn't secure the weapon, and the child was able to get the weapon and use it to rob a convenience store. So, again, it's not education for the people who actually purchase the weapons or acquire the weapons and have them in their possession, like some kind of education for those people. And that's all that. I don't know if that's all. I mean, I'm sure that he wants to do other things, the actor that you don't like. I'm sure he might want to do other things. But I mean, I think that is their concern. I don't think his concern is wanting to get rid of weapons because he actually owns guns himself. I don't think that's it. I think it's like, how do we prevent these tragedies from happening? And, that's the question people are asking, obviously.
Yeah, well, good. That is the question that's important. It's just you see everywhere this political, back and forth, man. I'm so tired of the political bullshit.
And showing up at the White House is totally fucking political, just
right,
like you mentioned.
Yeah.
And fucking and running on, taking weapons away from people and so on. That is going to be. You are absolutely correct about that.
Yeah.
And this is going to be used as a wedge issue, along with abortion and a couple of other issues related to gender equality and stuff that are going to be pushed down our throats, in the next 3 months or 5 months. And in reality, the things we're not going to talk about are the fucking economy. We're not going to talk about that. Gas being twice the price that it was a year ago. We're not going to fucking talk about American imperialism and an $800 billion fucking defense budget. Nobody's going to talk about that.
Yeah, that's not going to be talked about.
No, it's not to be talked about. And all of this, like these cop stories, like the story I shared with you from California and other stories like the one from Texas where the police were watching were like basically preventing parents from saving their children for an hour while the shooting went on. And we talked about why they might have had their reasons and so on. But the point being is like this lack of faith and confidence in the police department. People don't have faith and confidence in the police department anymore. Yeah. I don't think that's going to be discussed in the election, in the upcoming elections. So I don't know. I did hear one candidate from Kentucky who's running for the 6th congressional district. I don't recall his name, but he has a billboard outside of Lexington, Kentucky that says "Abolish the CIA."
Nice.
He's running as,
you don't see that a whole lot. Man, I want to see a billionaire fund that to go around the fucking country.
Would it be cool if you drove around America, like you drove through Seattle and 2 or 3 times on your drive through the city, you saw a big fucking sign that said "Ban the CIA"? It's good for you. Vote for me. It'd be so cool.
I want to see him. I want to see him every 2 miles.
And then the other candidate is the one in Washington, the one I mentioned to you a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I played an interview with her. Did you see that when I played the interview with her?
No, I didn't, but I'm glad that you saw that because this is the only time we're going to see these candidates that are kind of on the outside of the norm is in this primary race during the midterms. And that's about it. So by the time the general election comes around in November, we're just going to have milquetoast candidates. So I'm glad you found an interview with her. She's a homeless advocate. She's an advocate for homeless people.
Sure sounds like it.
Yeah, and is pretty militant. So, I think we need to do things like if there's an abandoned warehouse or an abandoned school and it's just a piece of property that's not being used while there are homeless people in the community, I don't have any problem with occupying that building. And that was what her strategy was. So I'm glad she's running for Congress. And I wish more activists like her would do that, but unfortunately we just get the people bought by Pfizer and bought by the military-industrial complex and bought by whatever big industry is in your city, they get to purchase the Congress people. It just sucks. It's the same everywhere, as you mentioned earlier. Anyway, I'm going to let you go, Mike. It's going to rain, I think, tonight. I can see the clouds filling up. I think we're going to get a break and then 2 more days of rain. Did you enjoy that rain over the weekend?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Wasn't it intense?
Yeah.
I think we got about an inch of rain or something in like 2 days. All right, well, good luck with your garden, and I hope the seeds keep growing and you start to get some vegetation.
I got a good feeling.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your night, Mike. Peace.
All right, talk to you later. Thanks for calling. All right, so, man, bear, pig. Man, bear, pig. Okay, so there's a new South Park. It's 48 minutes long, I believe. It's on the Paramount Plus, I think. I'm not sure. It's on one of the streaming services. It's called Streaming Wars. I think it's called Streaming Wars. South Park Streaming Wars. You can type it in. And basically, they're talking about one of the things I've been talking about forever. One of the really important things that I've been talking about forever, which is that we're running out of drinking water. Okay? And Man Bear Pig is in the show. He plays a gangster. Spoiler alert, Man Bear Pig's a gangster. It's also about the objectification of women and what else? There was something else. Can't remember. Poor shaming. No, something else. I watched a Kung Fu movie last night. It was called Kung Fu League. And about this guy who draws comics and he's getting bullied, you know, and he wished that these legendary Kung Fu masters would come and save him. And like all these guys show up, you know, like Master Wong from Crouching Tiger and Ip Man and Bruce Lee, and they're like teaching him and defending him and getting into fights. It was pretty cool. I liked it a lot. It's all closed caption subtitles. So I think we should have a bong hit, but first I want to play something for you that is incredibly important. Okay, and you should go watch the South Park episode. It's called Streaming Wars. It's also, they say, you know, why can't I just have one streaming service that I get everything, right? I think that's a good question. They're like, oh, there's all these different streaming services. Why can't I just have one that has everything, right? I think it's brilliant. Why do we gotta have all these different just for the rich to make more money? So let's see. No, but what's really important, I have a discussion on the floor of Congress this afternoon where they're talking about something truly important. I'm going to play that for you now. I'm going to go heat up my tea. I'm going to come back and have a bong hit with you, and then we will go from there. All right? Thanks so much for tuning in. It's always better when you're here. I will talk to you momentarily. This is incredibly important and from Congress today.
Does the gentleman from Oregon seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, I move the House suspend the rules and pass the bill, House Concurrent Resolution 88.
The clerk will report the title of the concurrent resolution.
House Concurrent Resolution 88, concurrent resolution authorizing the use of the Capitol grounds for the Greater Washington Soapbox Derby.
Pursuant to the rule, the gentleman from Oregon, Mr. DeFazio, and the gentleman from Missouri, Mr. Graves, each will control 20 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Oregon.
Speaker, asking unanimous consent that all members may have 5 legislative days within which to revise and extend their remarks and exclude extraneous material on House Concurrent Resolution 88.
Without objection.
Thanks, Speaker. I yield myself such time as I may consume. Today, we are again considering legislation, House Concurrent Resolution 88, to authorize the use of the Capitol grounds for the Greater Washington Soapbox Derby. I want to thank Majority Leader Hoyer for introducing this resolution on behalf of the Washington Regional Delegation. The Greater Washington Soapbox Derby, it's an annual competitive event that encourages boys and girls 9 through 16 to construct and race their own soapbox vehicles. On Capitol Hill, the event has become a great tradition in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area over the last quarter of a century. It provides a terrific opportunity for children to appreciate the workmanship necessary to build the vehicles, enjoy the thrill of competition. The Greater Washington Soapbox Derby organizers will work with the architect of the Capitol and the Capitol Police to ensure appropriate rules, regulations are in place, and the event remains free to the public and safe for all those involved. I support this legislation and urge my colleagues to join me. I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman reserves. The gentleman from Missouri is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd yield myself such time as I may consume.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This resolution, as has been pointed out, authorizes use of the Capitol grounds for the annual Greater Washington Soapbox Derby on June 18, 2023. This is a time-honored tradition. With the exception of World War II, it has run every year since 1934 and provides children in the Greater Washington area an opportunity to build knowledge and character through fair and honest competition. This is one of the many regional competitions across the country to qualify children to compete in the All-American Soapbox Derby. This is a program I participated in some 40-odd years ago, and it's a good program, and I fully endorse it. I would urge support of the legislation and reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman reserves. The gentleman from Oregon is recognized.
I yield the majority leader 1 minute to speak on this legislation for which he is the sponsor.
Gentleman, the majority leader is recognized.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the chair and the ranking member for bringing this bill to the floor. I'm honored to bring this resolution.
I'm honored to be part of the Pinewood Derby resolution. You know, these people are naming post office and passing laws, bills, whatever it is, about Pinewood Derby, right? And when you think about all the things that are going on, you know, it just seems like, not that I don't want the Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts or wherever it is that has a Pinewood Derby, hopefully both together. Whoever it is, I hope that they have a fantastic time and they do it upright. You know, the thing is I don't see why we would have to have this act of Congress in order to make this happen, right? And even more so, what I see happening is this grandstanding about, look what we're doing for the children, right? And again, it just seems like if you wanted to do something for the children, you know, you'd have bigger priorities than Pinewood Derby, right? Again, the new South Park Man Bear Pig is it's not all, but a lot of it is about what I've been talking about forever, which is we're running out of drinking water. And we'll see what happens with that. Craig was showing me a video a couple days ago of like this giant piece of rock that just crashed down into Lake Mead, I believe it was. It looked like a glacier breaking away. It's like, holy shit. Because you don't see stone drop like that. And we're running out of drinking water, people. Which should be a very interesting ending to this long human saga, right? Not as fun as nuclear devastation, but that's still an option. Well, that's all the videos I got for you today. And the phone lines are open, so I'll give you another moment to call if you like. Oh, we were going to do a bong hit, huh? We should do that now. Let's have a bong hit. I have to go get some dinner for me and my Boo Bear, but first I have to take out the garbage because it's garbage day, and there's something else too. I'll figure it out. But I should really brush Boo Bear's teeth. I did it 2 days ago, but I didn't do it for like 4 days before that, and his breath is really stinky. Well, it was 2 days ago. but now it needs a little more brushing. That's all. What?
This is a landlord. Oh shit! That's all I got. So the Japanians went against the Palestinians, and then they all started a war. And you know, we all know about all the stuff out here in the wilderness, and I think the goddamn Finkelstein shit kids still owe me money over here in the fucking goddamn trailer park, and I can't even get the fucking rent from them. These goddamn sons of bitches are all fucking running around naked half the time. Fucking cannot fucking collect the fucking rent. I had an accident, and I'm fucking over here fucking trying to do my best. Now this is the landlord calling in when I got a lot of cigarettes. Hold on. They 42 times to get the cigarette light. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. It's been a rough week. It's been a really rough week over here. As a landlord, I'm a landlord.
Sorry about that. I did let it go on a bit too long, huh? So I feel like, what was it? There's two options to make the school shootings stop. One is to make the schools impenetrable. They say, oh, we have these locking doors. No, you're going to have to put up a chain link fence with one way in and one way out, and somebody stationed at that door, at that entrance at all times. Somebody armed at that door at all times. That will diminish the school shootings immensely, but it will also make schools look very much like a prison, which I think is entirely possible. That one of the things that public schools do is prepare children for public prisons. And the other thing that you can do is have proper mental health care in this country. You know, recognize all these people that are shooting at each other. They're fucked up in the brain. If they're fucked up in the brain, I'm not saying people who have somebody break into their home or people who are defending themselves, but if you're in a crowd of people and you see somebody who's like wearing the wrong colors and you open up fire and they open up fire, that's not defending yourself. That's fucking insanity. Okay? There's 1 billion people around you. What the fuck? You know? And this thing with the 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, let's think about the size of a 2-year-old's hand. or a 3-year-old's hand. You can't even they couldn't even get their hand around the grip to grab it, let alone the trigger, right? The grip to grab it. Look how big that is, right? They can't get their fingers, their little tiny 2-year-old, 3-year-old fingers around the grip, let alone get their finger out to the trigger to pull it back. They can't do that. So, you tell me. I have been around a lot of guns. I mean, there's maybe a couple of guns they might be able to get their hand around a grip. I never fired a Derringer. I imagine if a 2-year-old tried to fire a Derringer, that it would probably break their wrist. And that might happen with a 38 even. A 38's, 38, like I've said before, my dad used to say, if you shoot a big guy with a 38, you're just going to piss him off. So, a 38 is, anyways. What I'm saying is, 2-year-old hand around a grip. It's impossible for me to believe. I can't see it happening. Now, what shall we do? Okay, so we got no callers, and it's that time. We took a bong hit, right? We took a bong hit. We took at least one, right? It's that time, my little ninjas. I need to go get some dinner for me and my Boo Bear. So, thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, tomorrow night show we're going to be talking. Let me tell you about Friday night show, since you guys stuck around. Thursday night show, right? Since you stuck around to the end of the show, here's the deal with Thursday night show. Okay, the show is going to be about the question. The title of the show is, if you could have any piece of historical / celebrity / political, sports, whatever, right? Memorabilia, right? Like, the 1964 Super Bowl football signed by blah, blah, blah. If you could have any piece of memorabilia, just you wish for it and you have anything, one piece of memorabilia. Thursday night, I want to get callers. I want to know, or you can even answer in the chat. I won't be picky. Thursday night, what piece of memorabilia is it that you would most like to have? I thought about this for days, and I thought about it, and I was like, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. And I figured out what it was that made sense. And then I thought about 100 different other things. And I came back to this thing that made sense. So, and I will be more than happy to share that with you on Thursday. Tomorrow night show is the truth about the new marijuana. The truth. I will expose the truth here on tomorrow night show about the new marijuana. So, you have that to look forward to, and which is nice. So, again, thank you so much for tuning in. We do this every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then who knows when else. But I can guarantee almost every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Which means we'll be back tomorrow, same Mox time, same Mox channel. And until then, stay cool, because, you might miss something. Life goes by pretty fast. So stay cool so you can enjoy at least a little bit of it. All right? See you tomorrow.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am? You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.
I mean, this coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. I wish the coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits.
She's a bitch, right? She's a bitch.